Claudia Carillion. I'm the CEO of International Designers Fashion, and we will go online in 1 minute. Das war noch nicht so 100%.
Hi everyone, my name is Anina, and I'm the CEO and founder of 360 Fashion Network, and we are going live in 1 minute.
Hi, my name is Claudia Carillion. I'm the CEO of International Designers Network, and we are going online in 1 minute.
Great, we have 360 Fashion, already 2 viewers. We're going live and online in 1 minute.
Hi, I'm Claudia Carillion, CEO of International Designers Network, and we are going online in 1 minute.
Fantastic. We have now 360 Fashion Facebook page online, and my name is Anina. I'm the CEO and founder of 360 Fashion, and we will go live in 1 minute.
Hi, I'm Claudia Carillion. I'm the CEO of International Designers Network, and we are going online in 1 minute.
Wonderful. So we have International Designers Network will be online now. And looks like we're online. Fantastic. So we've got lots of people watching on 360 Fashion, on Anina.net. Wonderful. So my name is Anina, and I'm the CEO and founder of 360 Fashion Network. And today I'm delighted to be here with Claudia Carillion, who is the founder of International Designers Network. Welcome, Claudia. You are in Germany.
Yes, hi Anina, and welcome to you, and you are in Beijing.
Right on. So, Claudia, you know, it's wonderful to have you here. I really wanted to ask you lots of questions about what is going on right now in fashion in Germany. So, first of all, how is the situation there? Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, I must say the situation is not very well, actually, because a lot of people still get the virus every day, and the people are quite anxious, and the only thing is they finally understood that they have to stay at home and to protect themselves. But for sure, the problem, if we speak about fashion, it's not the moment for them to speak about fashion, to think about how to dress, because when you're at home, you don't need wonderful dresses because you have no one to show it to them. So the people are much more interested in healthcare, in environment, in how they get food at home, or what to do with the kids when they cannot go out in the street or in the park. And I think everyone is confined in its home. And for the fashion business, it's certainly a very bad moment. But I think if China had given a very good example, the fact that China is now opening again, and that the life outside is starting again, can also give hope to other countries.
So when we were here and we were first going through it, a lot of fashion designers were like, oh my gosh, you know, all the fashion weeks canceled, all the events are canceled. How are we going to show our collections? And now, obviously, Germany and the rest of the world is going through that phase. And one of the things that they came up with was going digital. And so that's why I decided to create this online summit on March 28th and 29th called the Digital Fashion Online Summit. And if you're interested in more information, you can go to digitalfashion.360fashion.net. So one of the panels, Claudia, is called Live Streaming, the Salvation of Fashion. What do you think?
Oh, I'm sure that there will be a lot of changes, and China is giving a very good example, actually, because when you think that the Shanghai Fashion Week actually is on stream, and you can see it on Tmall, or you can see it on different things. I think the other countries will start also to think more in a digital way. The Europeans, they love internet, they love Facebook, they love whatever but the problem is that up to now they did not really realize that it can be also a work part of their life, and that this is a way of communication. It's not only for games, it's not only for sending messages to your friends, it's really how to sell, how to show your products, and how to continue your business.
So one of the incredible speakers that we have at the conference is Alison Lewis from Switch Embassy, and also representing Ozone. And Ozone is a 3D digitization of apparel. And so one of the things that all of the fashion designers here were thinking was like, oh my gosh, if I had 3D representations, 3D scans of my collection, then I could be sending them to buyers to really look at. Because when they tried the live streams, the buyers couldn't really see clearly enough the fabric. And Alison, in her speech on March 28th, at the Digital Fashion Online Conference, is going to show how having 3D renderings of your collections can actually really help you in multiple different ways.
Certainly. I think this is very important, and I think these are new jobs also for younger people, how to make the presentations, because I must admit that most of the designers are very good in creating, but they are not very good in technical things. And I had already this experience, and you remember certainly when we started 10 years ago, the World Fashion Film Festival, where we asked to our young designers to make a 3 minutes presentation of their style, and they, in the beginning, they said, oh, we don't know. And then they found out that they have friends who know how to make a movie. They know how to present. They have people around. So I think it's also good they will learn to work in a communication and in a group, and not only stay at home to make new garments.
Wow, what an excellent point. I mean, the whole idea of fashion film is, again, something that you pioneered, and also is something in Diane Pernay's toolkit, who is also one of the speakers. And she does really, really high-end production films, but she has really helped to develop this genre of fashion film. And then when we collaborated and we added AR, augmented reality, you remember, at the Chic, and you could go to the wall, and you could hold up your phone and watch all the movies triggered from the wall. That was very interactive way to have a film festival, was my idea, that you could have this wall in the middle of a shopping area, and then people could go with their phones, and then they would be suddenly in a whole film festival just from printing a picture on a wall.
Yeah, and the fact is also, for a designer, he's staying in a country, and the fact is he wants to be known all over the world. What is easier than to make a little movie and to send it out? Because every journalist, every buyer can see it, and he, in 3 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever, he can have an idea if he loves or if he doesn't like it. But this is a way to promote without traveling. It's much safer. You have not to pay a hotel, a plane trip. You just send out the movie and all the presentation, and the people can see what you do.
It's a really great communication. Switching over to sort of the suppliers, could you talk a little bit about some of the trouble that they're facing right now in Germany? You were saying that packages are arriving and the supply chains are all screwed up. Could you talk a little bit about what's going on the business side?
Certainly. The problem is that all the governments in Europe have closed all the shops. So there is no more shop. Can you imagine? You cannot go out. There's no magazine. There's nothing. It's closed. But you had the same thing in China. Sometimes it's important because the virus cannot continue to meet people. This is certainly perfect. But the problem is actually all these shop owners have problems because they have still to pay the rent, they have to pay the people, they got all the garments for the spring summer season, and they have no one to buy. So I think that next weeks will be very difficult for Europeans, and probably for the Americans it will finish the same way, because you cannot stop a virus without without closing everything. But I think afterwards the people will also be happy to have something and to buy. I don't think that it is absolutely the end of the season. It's only the season is postponed. And in a certain way, we were like crazy in the last years, because we started the spring season in January in the shops. In April, you was already told, oh, we have no more summer clothes because it's too late. And in reality, summer had not still started. So the people, in order to rush always faster and faster, it became crazy. So now I think in a certain way it's good for the world. We go back to the roots. We go back to the real season. We have the starting of the spring season. So there is no problem. Summer is only coming in July. And summer goes up to end of September. So I don't know why these people are so crazy. There will be time to sell. Maybe not yet in this month, but maybe in 6 weeks, and that is still enough for the whole summer season.
Wow, something occurred to me when you were talking about that. You know that song, for everything, turn, turn, turn. There is
exactly.
a season, turn, turn, turn. And I think part of the reason that we are in this debacle is that we are so disconnected from nature. That we don't eat the fruits in the season, we don't grow things in the season. Now you just said we don't even shop in the season, and I feel like this, from what you just said, is kind of like a reset into be in harmony with nature. It's kind of weird.
Exactly. Yeah, and look, suddenly I'm in Cologne. Cologne is very polluted because we have the biggest shell industry just 5 kilometers away. And we have all the coal development in 50 kilometers. So normally you cannot respire in this area. Now I have a totally wonderful blue sky. I have little birds on my terrace. And I must say, it's wonderful. It's like when I was a little child.
Wow. Yeah. And you were saying that... dolphins are coming back and swimming in the canals of Venice, and people are finding birds in their backyard. They're probably wondering, what happened to all the humans?
Yeah, the problem is that since the war, I think, because people suffered so much from 2 world wars, people only wanted to make money and to have a big house, to show to the neighbors that they had the bigger car than themselves. So I think this competition was absolutely wrong, but there was no way to stop it. And this virus, it stops everything. So I hope that in every country people come down to us and say it's not the most important thing to have the last bag of a big designer. It's important that my family is safe, that no one is dying from a virus, and that we have good food and a healthy food. And the rest, it's a plus. It's wonderful to have it, but it's not a problem if we don't have it.
But in a way, I feel like there's this discourse of that it is a problem if we don't have it. If we don't consume, then there are no jobs, and then people don't have anything to do, and they can't pay their rent, and they end up homeless. That's how it goes. We can't, stop the world and not do anything and not sell things.
I don't agree with you, because we can still consume, but maybe not in such a big way, but and also with better products. I think the problem is also that we use all the good things from the earth, and we don't develop a nice environment. Maybe we have to come back to earth to see how we can still make nice things, and this is the job of designers and creators all over the world.
So I'm super excited because so one of the speakers at the Digital Fashion Online Conference is a brand from Shanghai called Zurita, made by, and this story is incredible. It's a sustainable fashion brand from end to end, Claudia. When you when you watch this, how she does it, you will not believe it. So first of all, she's even a hybrid story. She is actually from Madrid, and her whole team is localized and Chinese. She's been in China for 10 years. And she came up with this. She comes from the fashion industry, but she has this idea that she wanted to create a fashion brand in China. She needed something to do, and she said that she had to do it in a more responsible way. And the way she does it is she has optimized her supply chain that she can deliver a piece of clothing in 7 days. And she analyzes the data with artificial intelligence to see in real time what her clients want. So she doesn't have to overproduce. Yeah. Instead, she can modify on the fly, and in 7 days, that product that they want can be in the store. How amazing is that? And then,
I think this is exactly what we have to do. We have to do what our buyers wanted, our customers, and not only do production and overproduction, which we throw away at the end of the season because no one wanted it. This is absolutely crazy. When you see how many things are overproduced in the world, this kills everything. So go back, and you can sell it even at a higher level, so you don't lose really money. But you have less costs, because if you produce with a small chain of producers, you have not the costs of all the transports of all these other peoples where you have to go and control and all these things. So you reduce also your costs.
So it gets even better, Claudia, because she does online, right? And and so she was saying that, the way she does sustainability is only possible here in China because the producers, the optimization, and also, this is a key point, the delivery. So she doesn't even have packaging, Claudia, because SF, a local delivery company, they have these special boxes where you can put the stuff inside. They go to the client, they open it up, the client takes out the package, and then the Shunfen, the SF delivery service, takes that box back. And then the box just keeps getting used over and over and over again. Like right now, I do a lot of e-commerce, and it's like I get a mountain of cardboard boxes by my door, Claudia, and I think it's so wasteful. But with Zurita's way of doing it, the box is super durable. It's cardboard. It's super durable. But the box never gets left at the client. Like, nobody needs the box, right?
No.
So it's fantastic. Even her packaging is sustainable.
Bravo. I think this is a very, very good system.
And then, okay, I don't want to ruin it or anything, but she has, like, special ways that she does her retail, too. And you have to tune into her speech because I don't want to like tell it all.
Yeah. But no, let her speak too.
Zurita, Monica is going to show this Zurita model of sustainability. And when I asked her, like, could this be adopted in other places, she said, parts of it could, but there isn't the infrastructure yet in the West like there is in China. Yeah. So could you talk a little bit about right now the infrastructure that Germany is finding out? You said that the internet sucks, and that's so hard to believe, and that computers are out of date. And you were talking about this, but that's not my idea of Germany.
Well, I think, as I told you before, the fact is that in Europe, internet, computers, tablets, whatever, it's nice to have, but you still have people going in the office, and the managers, they just know how to write an email. And the fact that the digital world is very useful and that you can do a lot of other things, I think the people here there are people, a lot of people who have understood, maybe the young ones, but you have up from the middle age, the people say, oh yes, this is for the young people, it's not for me. And this is crazy, because we have in Germany, we have a really wonderful industry. We have very good companies, but the schools, they got money from the government. But can you imagine that actually the students are at home, and a lot of them have not a good access to internet, or they have not a modern tablet. The schools got money for it, but they have forgotten to distribute it in time. So the teachers don't know how to work. They have to teach it by themselves or to learn it by themselves. I think to become a teacher nowadays, you should get lessons how to teach online, how to work online. I'm afraid. I'm going to China since 40 years, so I saw all the development up from the 80s, beginning of 80s, but I think Europe slept because they were very happy with what they had, but they were not very reactive, and this hurts actually the most.
Well, that's really interesting that you would say. So one of our, and again, another amazing speaker that we have at the Digital Fashion Online Conference on March 28th and 29th is Stylelumia from India, an AI company. Yeah, an AI company that has an incredible algorithm, Claudia. Listen to this. Yeah. So not only does the algorithm take into consideration what's trending on the internet, what's selling on the internet, what trends are hot, what colors, what sizes, what shapes, what styles, what price range, all of that on the internet. Then you hook it up to your data, your e-commerce data, your sales data, your retail data, okay? And then it can tell you not only, let's just pretend that camouflage is in, okay?
Yeah.
It not only can tell you, the Stylelumia algorithm can not only tell you, yes, camouflage is in, but it can tell you camouflage is in, and this shirt in camouflage is in this size it's in, but that shirt and that size are not good for you and your customers. Your customers would rather have a shoe in size 16, and you should produce 500 of them. Like, it can tell you how many to produce in what style, what shape, and whatever. So you don't miss out on the trend, but you're not making a t-shirt to be cool that nobody is going to use, Claudia. So, I mean, that's just incredible when we talk about forecasting and predicting, you're and avoiding overstock or understock, right? Because you know exactly what to make that's suitable and personal for your brand. And then on top of that, it tells you how many to make of it. Is that not amazing?
Yes, but I will tell you the problem in Europe and only also in America, that who decides in the end who produces how many pieces? Not the designer creates, and then you have, well, okay, you have the product manager, but in the end, the one who decides is a marketing director. And he will say, oh, this shirt, we sold it so well last season, we should do the same maybe in another print next season. And but he is not in the street. These gentlemen or women also are sitting in their room and they're only looking after figures, what has been done in the past. And nowadays, you can no more decide what you will do in the future by the things you have done in the past. You have to go in the street, you have to listen, you have to be in the global world, and you have to see what happens. And this is, unfortunately, we have a generation from older, and I'm old myself, but I try to get to be always, thanks to all my designers, to be always updated. But the problem is that in all these factories and in all these companies, there are people deciding the production of pieces which we could already say in advance that they will never be sold. And this has to change. And I'm happy to have these companies who give advice, because it's the only way to go out of this problem.
Well, the amazing thing about this algorithm is that it does take into consideration all these trends that are happening on the street. And and that whole process that you just explained, they have another feature, and I don't want to ruin it because he's going to give an amazing speech. But you know how designers go around the world and they get all these inspiration photos, postcards, everything? Yeah. Well, you can scan all of that, Claudia, and upload it to the AI of Stylumia. And then it can show you exactly what you should make out of that and give you suggestions.
Perfect. Wonderful.
It's amazing. Yeah. And so you could go out in the world and collect all of these things, right? Postcards and this, but then you upload it to the AI, and the AI can present you, combined with your data, right, of your actual data of what your customers want, and then poof, the man and the machine work together, Claudia.
Exactly.
The man and the machine work together.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's really going to be an amazing speech. And I just want to sum it up that the entire digital fashion online conference is so amazing in terms of all of the people that are there speaking. And none of that would be really... I mean, they probably would speak for me, but, they have a lot of time right now, and they're giving us a lot of time. And so I really urge everyone to take this weekend, plug your laptop into your television screen, and while you're sitting on your couch playing with your kids or whatever, be listening to these experts speaking, while you're cooking and you're eating. Just spend the whole day with us on the conference, because what we need to be doing right now is getting ready for the future. Just what you said, Claudia, right now, 1.3 billion people are learning to go online, like yourself. Like Robert Kringley this morning had never live streamed on Instagram, and I broke his cherry. And he loved it, and older people are learning to go online, and also,
for sure,
and those are not customers that are going to go away. They're going to stay living and doing things on the internet. Do you agree?
Absolutely, because I think that in any way it will change. Because I just got a message today from Sant'Angelo, the big company in China. The manager, Bonji, told me that the fact is now in China that most of the people who are in the smaller cities and far away from the big cities where the shopping malls are opening, they will stick to online shopping. And they will buy more and more. And I think this will happen also in Europe. Not everyone is living in a big company. A lot of people are living in the countryside, on the seaside, or wherever, and they also want to buy. And they learned by this way, when they have no tram, no train, no bus, that they can also buy things they love and like. They can buy it online. And this is, I think this is finished. We will no more go back. And I think the elder people have mainly to listen to this, to learn that what they learned 20 or 40 or 50 years ago, it's over. We have to sit down and we have to learn, and we have to be interested by new ways. Otherwise, it will not be possible to continue.
I totally agree with you. And I just think that this is a unique opportunity to be able to, learn about this next era that we're going to learn from Alison Lewis, Casey Golden. We have
Everyone.
even Larry Namer, who's the founder of E-Entertainment Television, We have investors from both Asia and from the West. And I just think it's an incredible opportunity to prepare yourself, to get prepared for the future, for this, right after this little blip in time goes away, there's going to be huge opportunity.
Yeah. And may I say one more thing, because you offer this whole sessions for only $5 per person, and those who want to listen after the 2 days, the same thing for 30 days, it's only $35. It's not worse as a coffee. So I think this is a good opportunity to drink a coffee and listen to all these sessions, and to learn more. And I hope that after this we will do other sessions and in other countries with other people, because we have to learn from each other. We cannot sit in our room and think we are the best. We have to learn from each one, and everyone has something to say, and everyone has a good idea.
Well, actually, that's funny. We call it the coffee ticket because the $5 is to buy the coffee as a thank you to all the speakers. So, Claudia, it's so funny that you should call it that, but I love it. And thank you so much for streaming with us today. And, Claudia Carillion has an incredible experience in fashion. And the next one we have to make about you. So this will not be the last time Claudia is online.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you.
See, she got all teched up. Like, she met this challenge to get online, Claudia. Maybe you want to tell a little bit what motivated you to do that.
Well, the fact was very simple that I can't tell you. Oh, yes. I started as a journalist in Paris while I had kids at home. And by chance, I started in the fashion business. And one day, I was in '74, I was asked to look after a very famous designer, but at the time, he was not known at all. It was Kanza Yamamoto from Japan. And so I started his business worldwide, and already from '74 to '80, I was involved in all the Asian progress of machines, of techniques. And then I started an office in Hong Kong. And it is very funny because my home was in Paris and my kids, but I had my office in Hong Kong, so I traveled in between. And I had a computer when no one in Europe had a computer. I had a mobile phone when no one had a mobile phone. And it was very complicated because Mac and Apple didn't converse together. So I had 2 computers to read all the people. But my kids always said, the only one who knows what happens is our grandmother. And so I continue, but it's really, the fact is you must be open-eyed and you must go through the world and see what happens. And I must really say, a lot of us, my generation, are sleeping pillows. And I would like to push them and to do something. And I heard in Germany, now they install in the senior houses and for older people, Skype, so that the people can communicate with their families. And this is the first step. And I think this is wonderful. And this gives hope for everyone.
Great. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much. I'm just invite you to come to the Digital Fashion Online Conference, March 28, 29. There's an incredible speaker lineup. And this will not be the last time you see Miss Carillion. And Claudia, in closing, could you tell why you think people should come to the Digital Fashion Online Conference?
Well, I think we are all sitting at home, and instead to cry and to think that the world is over, I think this is a very positive opportunity to think about how we can continue once we can go out on the street and people have nothing to do. And as we said, drink a coffee or whatever you want and listen and then think about, and then let's communicate after it. I think you certainly can give us a lot and give to Anina a lot of new ideas once you have heard the other ones. We all can learn. And I think take your time, take profit of this time where you cannot go out and run away. So please listen and give us new ideas for the next.
Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy to have you online. And
You're welcome.
We had a whole bunch of listeners also on your page, Claudia. Lots of listeners
wonderful.
On your page. And just thrilled. And join us at the conference, digitalfashion.360fashion.net.
So we see you again on the weekend.
Bye-bye.